Hey, welcome to Back After 10 Ball Reviews. I'm Brandon. Thanks so much for stopping by. In this particular video, you're going to see and hear, because I'm doing a voiceover, me talking to you through some shots while using the recently released Black Pearl from Hammer, that new urethane ball. I'll share my overall thoughts, views, and opinions with you at the end of this video, but unfortunately, while attempting to shoot the video, the bowling center had the music blaring. My microphone, I was not able to level that out so you can hear more of me versus background music. So I apologize for that. But I'm going to do my best to kind of talk you guys through what I was seeing, what I was feeling, what I was thinking through all of those shots. And then again, followed up by a little thought process on that particular ball at the end of this video. So do me a favor, stick around. If you're interested, a little hint, I think everybody should like this ball. But without further ado, let's hop into, well, the voiceover. All right, guys, so talk quickly about layout. I was using a 3-inch pin, so it's a very strong position, box surface around, I want to say it's anywhere between 500 and 1,000 grit, I believe. The goal for this particular shot was to be around 15 or so with my feet, and the goal was to try to be around 5 or so. Now, as you saw in that particular shot, it bounced pretty quickly, but I was hitting the friction a little early in that particular shot. This is a broken down house shot. There were we bowled 4 games in that particular league, and there's 3 bowlers each, so essentially the equivalent to about 12 games. Most individuals play around the track area. Now, one thing, if you noticed in that particular shot there, I missed just a hair. It caught just enough oil for that ball to just kind of skid. Now, mind you, I did bowl about a game and a half previously, fresh out the box, so it's got a little bit of oil. I haven't wiped the surface off much. Going into this next shot, again, trying to be a little more precise, try to get it to the friction at just the right speed, just the right angle. You'll see that I kind of come up short of that target. In that particular shot, I felt like I was just a hair fast and a hair inside. I was about 7-8-ish at the arrows, and I wrapped a quick 10 pin. And I did that a lot, honestly, during league play. I had a few really solid shots, and as you see, the 10 pin was reigning supreme. And the big part of that is due to the fact that this is a ball that is designed to roll early. So with the layout that I have on it, it's going to get into a roll even earlier, and it could potentially lose energy, as I believe what occurred on the back end there. Now, at this particular point, I believe I started to kind of migrate just a hair left, just a little bit, not too much. And then I started, I believe, either in this shot or the shot after to try to give it some room. Yeah, that one, I slowed my ball speed down a little bit, but I was still inside and I left that mess. Yeah, that's the one thing I'm learning so far with urethane. It really forces you, at least in my experience, to be a little more accurate. Now, I will say, this next shot here with this spare spoiler, I actually made it. And the fact that I got it caught on camera was even better. So if you're following me here on the channel, you'll see that actually I turned that into a YouTube short. They got about almost 500 views, so I'll take that. Again, as I stated before, the goal was to really learn this ball, how it looks on a house pattern. I know these balls are designed, quote unquote, for tournaments, shorter, weird patterns, but I believe you can use this ball on anything if you need to and know how to do it. Again, as you see here, that particular shot, I kind of got more up the back of it, didn't really roll the ball very well, and it left the same result as the previous shot. Again, I didn't want to do any editing whatsoever. I wanted you guys to see what it looks like in real life scenarios. Now, mind you, I'm not a high-end average bowler. I'm about on a good day 215 ish, depending on how I'm feeling that particular season. I do have a few 300s, but I'm not at an elite level. I'm a regular guy, a regular bowler who loves the sport, and I want to be able to try to use every tool possible. And I think most people are in that same category. So you're going to find some people that say you shouldn't use urethane during league play. I disagree. Otherwise, those balls would not be available to the general public. Moving on, this particular shot here, if I'm not mistaken, this is where I really started to kind of hone in a little bit. I believe I struck on this shot. I believe I did. We'll take a look here. I know I started to creep a little left with my feet, slow it down just a little bit. Yep, this is that one, yeah, where I crept left, call myself trying to keep it more inside, but if I slowed my hand down, as you see, the ball went 60 feet to nowhere. I could have left a nastier split, but obviously I didn't. Spare game Sunday was not on point. I have known myself to do a little bit better, but you know it is what it is. I made that particular spare. So again, you know, being coming from reactive, where you generally learn real quick, become accustomed to having more room. With urethane, I'm learning that's not the case. At least again, for me, at least on this broken down house pattern, the center's league is very saturated in the middle and very much a pronounced cliff. So when you start to get carried down and people playing different parts of the lane, it becomes fairly tight and tough. This particular shot, I believe I started to really slow down. I got the ball slightly into an earlier roll. So instead of really looking more at the arrows, I looked at the front set of dots to try to get the ball mentally, if you will, into an earlier roll. Slowed my hand speed down, or slowed my ball speed down a little bit. And as the old school bowlers used to say, just stroke the ball, just stroke the ball. Those of you who are from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, you know that term very well. And as you see, if you needed to, I believe on a house pattern, depending on your center, your urethane ball could very well act as a spare ball. I know a lot of people do that. I don't think I'm going to be one of those individuals, but that's just me. So taking a look at this next shot here, let's see where we go here. I believe it's another one of those shots where I got a little more right, slowed it down, got into an earlier roll, and I believe on this shot I struck. So let's take a look. Oh, I forgot in this particular shot someone was talking to me. Yeah, you see that? Now that ball drove really, really hard off the spot. It's gradual, which is something that I have to learn all over again as far as ball motion is concerned. I left that banging 7-pin. Weird, but as I like to say, welcome to America. Weird stuff happens. I had a very slow rack there, as you guys could see. So I started to feel like I was in a groove with this ball. I started to really feel like, okay, I'm making some headway. I'm learning this, trying to be a little more accurate. And I believe the next several shots are going to be somewhat indicative of me genuinely paying attention, which is something I believe that everyone should do no matter what. But when you're using equipment that doesn't really give you a whole lot of room, this is where you need to pay attention. I think whether you are a higher end bowler, someone who's very well versed in ball motion and hand manipulation, or again, if you're an average guy like me, I believe this ball, if nothing else, could genuinely be a training tool. And I say that, here in this shot, I was kind of trying to show you guys the flare rings. Something a lot of people do talk about, but don't talk about. When you're using urethane, obviously if you want to keep the surface as fresh as possible, wipe off your equipment. But I decided to keep the oil on the ball to kind of give me that extra little oomph to it, since it was rolling off the spot quite consistently. Now eventually I did wipe it off, but after that shot, I believe the next one or two, I kept the oil on the ball, and as you see there, that was a solid strike. But again, as I was saying before, I think this could be easily a ball that people can use as a training tool, help with understanding not so much ball motion, but ball release. Um, training with as far as accuracy is concerned. And again, to learning different patterns and how, this piece could be beneficial to you or more beneficial than you've ever thought. The purple hammer, from what I understand, was very popular. I didn't get to throw that ball. I bought a blue hammer shortly after it came out, so I'll do a comparison between the blue hammer and the black pearl if that's something you guys are interested in. Again, another good shot. Bam. You know, this is a ball that, for me, I believe fits in my comfort zone. Comfort zone, yes, but also pushing me to be a little better within my comfort zone, meaning I like to play straighter if I can. As old school saying, straighter is greater. There's a reason for it. And I feel like this is one of my strong suits. And again, also my comfort zone. It's helping me tighten that thought process up, be a little more precise, be a little more accurate with how I'm releasing the ball, where I'm releasing the ball, and then therefore, obviously, you see the end result. Again, that's not going to happen all the time. But I believe, again, the Black Pearl could really, or any other urethane ball could be used as a training tool. Now, that particular shot there, this is where after that shot, I decided to wipe the ball down because it was starting to get a little sloppy. Again, it doesn't flare, so you're rolling over the same spot over and over again, and therefore you start to, push the oil down, and it doesn't read as early. So that's where you kind of have to be mindful of, again, ball maintenance and whatnot, not only after bowling, but while you're bowling, so you can maintain the best performance possible. I believe I have like maybe one or two more shots here. I think I threw the ball well on this one. Yeah. Again, slow stroked it. By this time, I believe I had already moved back right. So I was about 13, 14 with my feet. Kind of went more up the back and rolled it a little bit and got more up under it, and that was the end result there. So far, so good, mind you. With these shots and what I bowled in league, I believe it's now about 2 games solid with this ball, and I can see this being definitely a piece that I could either use in league or in tournament. Okay, final thoughts in 3, 2, 1. Well, there you guys, there you have it. You see some unedited footage of me using the Black Pearl from Hammer. Again, completely raw, unedited, and giving you, to the best of my ability, what I was thinking through those particular shots. Again, because I had to do the voiceover, so I do apologize. But one thing I can say for sure, again, is the Black Pearl is a piece that I genuinely believe you can use in league. It is not exclusive to tournaments and or PBA bowlers, because if that was the case, we the public wouldn't have it. So if you feel like you need it, get it. 2, I believe this is a good ball to really maybe train with, and I think I'm going to use it in a combination of between league play, maybe tournaments, but as a training tool. Again, it's forced me to be more precise with release, so that way I know, unlike a reactive ball, again, sometimes you hit it left or hit it right, or you get some room to play with and you got some recovery a lot of times. But with urethane, that's not always the case. And as you saw, if I missed in, if I missed right, if I didn't hit it or whatever, I paid for it. And some would say that's a bad thing. I don't want that ball, but I think that's a good thing, because if you're able to repeat shots, good shots over and over again, you increase the opportunity to make better scores and better adjustments as time goes on. So I think the Black Pearl serves a much broader purpose than what most people are probably going to mention. Do me a favor, let me know what your comments and thoughts are in the comment section below. I definitely appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for an upcoming video comparison between the Black Pearl and the new blue hammer. I'm going to do that, and I'm also going to do a kind of a final review with the Black Widow 3.0 that came out, and boy oh boy, that's a really good piece. So again, I'm B Ross of Back After 10 Ball Reviews. Thanks so much for watching. I'm about to go eat dinner because the wife was cooking. I'll let y'all later.